Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial on how to create custom Pokemon characters for Mario Kart Wii. So today, the software packages I'll be using is Blender, Autodesk FBX Converter 2013 and Brawlcrate version 0.36. So to start with, you should have ripped your Mario Kart Wii game and have the file located somewhere securely on your desktop, and you should also have an idea as to what character you would like to mod today. And for this tutorial, I knew I wanted to mod Yoshi on the Turbo Blooper, and the file name can be found using this guide following this link. So what you're going to want to do is head over to the MKWii download, into the race folder and the kart folder, and you'll see this massive list of file names, of which I'm looking for MCKartYS for Yoshi, and you're going to want to copy this and paste it into a location that you remember so we can use it in Brawlcrate. So next, what you're going to want to do is open up Brawlcrate, and you're going to want to hit File, Open, and then you're going to want to open the file you've just copied. So that'll open, and you'll want to open the file, the driver model, 3D models, and the model, and then you're going to want to right click on this and export. Export this also to a location where you're going to know where you're going to keep it, and I named it Yoshi because it's the Yoshi model. Make sure it's DAE and save. Okay, so because I have a Microsoft computer and it's not got a good OpenGL, I need to move over to my Mac now. Hi guys, so once you've got your model, you're going to want to find the model that you're going to want to import over this, and I would highly recommend the model resource, and type that in and you can find the search models here. Type in the model you want to find. For this example, that's Psyduck. Search, and here's a few models of Psyduck, as you can see, that have been ripped from games, and I think this one will do nicely. So click on that and you can see that it's from Pikachu's Adventure. So we can download the zip archive, which will go to our downloads, and I'll just move that quickly over to my desktop now so I remember where it is. Okay, so now you're going to want to open your FBX converter, and then you're going to want to open the file that contains the DAE, or it will be OBJ, and you're going to want to move that into the FBX converter, convert it to the FBX 2013 compatible, and convert. So we can now use that in Blender. So you're going to also want to do the same with the Yoshi DAE you exported earlier, and exactly the same to the FBX 2013, so convert that as well. So what we can do now is go to Blender, open that up, and you can get rid of the camera, cube and the light because that's not needed for this, and you can move over to File, Import, FBX, and first of all you're going to want to find your model that you want to import, which is Psyduck in my case. So import FBX, and you're going to want to get rid of the armature that's already there, so delete that, and there's Psyduck. So we also want to import the Yoshi model, which is again the FBX, and that's on my desktop, Yoshi, and import that FBX. There we go. So you can see he's got a different rotation to Psyduck here, so we're just going to have to rotate Psyduck by Control Select and rotate to keep both the objects together. There we go, that should just about do. Okay, and so now we're going to want to scale him down to the same size as Yoshi, which is the scale tab there. So zoom in, and I've got that pretty much perfect on the arms, so that's what you're going to want to match up most of the time, is make sure the arms are perfectly aligned, just like this here. Then come to the armature of Yoshi and delete his 2 polygons because they're not necessary anymore, and control click on the 2 meshes and the armature, right click in here and parent with empty groups. So now the armature is parented with the mesh, so the mesh is connected. But we need to rig, because rigging is the most essential part of this model, and you're going to get rid of these vertices groups here. Just use the minus sign. Again, we'll do that with this one, which probably will have more vertex groups. Yes, quite a lot. So we'll just get rid of them. The minus button. Make sure you keep SKL root and anything below. So first of all, we'll click the eyes, go over to edit mode, and we've already selected all. So we're going to want to click on face, because the eyes are connected to the face, assign, and there we go, that's assigned. Head back to object mode, over to the other mesh, which is the main body, back to edit mode again, and we have all of the mesh selected here, so we're going to want to start with SKL root, which is the hips. So as you can see, Psyduck really doesn't have any hips. We're just going to make a rough estimate of about here, and to deselect any vertices you don't want to include, just control and use the select box. So we can get rid of all these vertices that are on the foot, because we don't want to attach any vertices that are on the foot with the hips, otherwise that will just look like a right mess. So we need to make sure that every single vertex on the foot has been deselected, because we want it to look the best we can, and you need to do that obviously for both feet when you have selected as much as I have here, which is a bit too much. There we go. Right, and that looks okay. So that looks like the hips to me. That could be the SKL root. Click assign, and that's assigned. So next we will move on to Psyduck's feet, which normally models have legs. So I'm just going to select the foot and assign it to the ankle, ignoring the fact that it hasn't got any legs. This will just leave the two leg L1 and leg L2 blank with no vertex groups, meaning that nothing will be attached to it when it moves in the final animational model. So there we go, that is the left foot, and we'll assign that one to ankle L1, because as I've said, he doesn't really have any legs. So we'll do the same again with his right foot. Select that all and try and get it as close to just being his foot as you can, because again, we want this model to look as good as we can, and Psyduck's feet are quite clearly, visibly detached from his body on this model, so it's not too hard to do. But I don't want his 2 feet attached together here, so just connect that. And again, ankle R1, assign. There we go. So now we're going to want to move over to his spin, or his torso basically, which is the main part of his body that will hold it all together and move, and this occurs obviously above his SKL root, so his hips, but anything below the face, like here. And again, to just select everything, I have selected too much, so I will deselect these parts on the tail, that bit and that bit. Also this bit on the arm, because we don't want the arm attached to the torso in that way. We will be doing the arms in a bit, and that one as well. Okay, so over here we'll do that, and that bit as well. Okay. So we don't want his face or his mouth attached to his midriff, his body, so we'll detach all of that as well as parts of his face, and it's good to get really close up to make sure all the vertices are detached. And I think once I've done this bit, I will skip it across because you guys will be able to rig the arms and the face as well as the mouth. Again, so I'm going to leave Tang and CA mouth 1 unattached to anything because I just would like his mouth attached to the mouth vertex group and the face attached to the face one. So let's do that. And now that that's all unselected, I can see there's one bit on his mouth that I need to deselect there. And a bit more there. Okay, there's actually another vertex in there somewhere. There. There we go. Yes, that looks good. So we'll go spin, assign, and there we go. And now I'll speed this up for you so it doesn't take too long. Hi guys, so as you can see, that took a while. You're going to want to go to weight paint mode and you can select each vertex group along here, seeing how heavy it is depending on how many vertices are attached. Head to weights, normalize all, and that will basically help save you when everything comes into the game. You can see the weights do change, but that's basically making every vertex equal the same weight, no matter how many armatures is attached to. How many bones, sorry. And you're going to want to do that with the other mesh, which is with the eyes, as we can't forget that. So just to check what he looks like with the colour. Okay, so we're going to just quickly change that by coming to the materials nodule, changing the metallic here by getting that down to 0. Type that in. Okay, and specular as well. Roughness, sheen tint, and we can go down to opaque on the blend mode to stop that see-throughness on his eyes. So we'll change over to the other mesh and do exactly the same thing. This isn't exactly necessary, but it's just to show you what the final model will look like in Blender, and also what he will look like in the game without shaders. And that's done. So that's side up there. And you can see he just looks a bit rough. We need to sort that out there. So to do so, you can select the mesh, head to edit mode, go to mesh, and make sure you select all first, of course. So select mesh there and clean up. And you can clean up with merge by distance. So that has removed 3,405 vertices, which is a lot, so that will make him smoother. And we'll do the same again with the eyes mesh. Again, making sure all selected, clean up, merge by distance, that's removed a few. So now when I click on the tab, there we go, we can see he looks a lot smoother, he just looks a better model there. So now you're going to want to check that this has all worked and your rigging has done well, so you can select armature, move to pose, and there you go, move him around and he's all attached to the armature perfectly, which is good. So that's him there. So you want to go to File, Export, and then Export FBX, and you're going to want to go to the file where you want to save him for future reference. I'll save him as psyduck.fbx, and the essential part of this is to make sure you go to armature and uncheck add leafy bones. That is not necessary, that won't help you at all. And then export FBX. Okay, so you're done with Blender for now, and you're going to want to head to that file where you've just exported the FBX, and you can see this is the most modern one I've got. So psyduck.fbx, move it over to the FBX converter that should still be open, remove that, and convert it to DAE colada. And that's the same DAE that we use for the models in Brawlcrate. Click convert, and that should appear in your file there. There we go. So psyduck DAE, we'll need that in the future. So we'll also need codec DH and codec IDH, and I will see you guys in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. So here you should have your psyduck DAE file and your two PNG images, which are the textures we'll use. So you're going to want to open up Brawlcrate as I have here, and hopefully you should still have the same SIS file open, and click model, and you can right click replace on Yoshi here, and we're going to import our psyduck DAE. Make sure it's DAE open, and these are the settings you're going to want to import with it. So you're going to want to make sure that the color inside option is clicked, and model type stage, model version 11, and the rest of these settings. So click OK, and that will be psyduck, looking rather pale and white there. So we need to change that. And to change that, we go over to textures and click Yoshi all. We don't want him to look like Yoshi, so we right click replace, and we choose our psyduck body PNG, and we can see it's CMPR format, and at the moment the dimensions don't matter, so we'll click OK, and we'll do the same for psyduck's eyes, which will replace over Yoshi's eyes with the psyduck PNG file. So that's okay. And now to make this appear on the model we've just imported, you need to go to materials and open these two here, and you need to rename it by clicking right click rename, and change this one as the I to Yoshi underscore I.0, as that's where we imported our texture, and that appears. And the same again for psyduck's body, as this will have the matrix for the texture to know where to go onto the model, Yoshi all. There we go, and that should appear on psyduck. Yes, very nice. That's good. Okay, so as I learned recently, we need to add shaders. It's something that makes the model look a lot better, and as I said, I recently learned the importance of this. So right click replace, and you can use the MLD 0 shade that I have attached in the comment section below. Click open, and that imports these three stages that will be used for shaders. So we're going to want to add the LM0 and LM1 textures into this file here, and what we're going to do is right click and add new reference, and do that twice for adding LM0 and LM1. So we can rename those to LM0 and LM1. There we go. And we can do that for LM1 as well. Okay. So these settings for these do matter quite a lot. So we can change the settings as seen here, and has texture matrix is true, their map mode is an ENV camera, these two UV and our clamp, and the projection is STQ, input form, input form, there we go, is ABC1, okay, and the coordinates are normals and normalized true. So that's the settings you want for all of the LM0 and LM1 in the materials file. So we're going to want to change that for this one over here as well. As you can see, this needs to be true. This is ENV camera. These two are both repeat. Sorry, clamp. And this is STQ. ABC1. And that is normals and normalize true. So Just to double check that our model is going to work fine when we import it, we'll just minus all this down and click on the model, edit, and we can actually see a preview of some of the animations that will be in Mario Kart Wii. So just zoom out quickly. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this tab out and put big, there we go, and there we go. So we'll see what he looks like when he does a skill jump. So he does a trick and we'll loop it so we can see. There we go. Not too bad. His hands could do a bit of work, but that's fine. He's jumping around all happy, so that's good. He can throw backwards, and that's looking pretty good. Let's see what it looks like when he waits. Yeah, his hands need sorting, but that's fine. We'll leave that. So what we need to do, as you can see here, when I saved the file over, I forgot to change the active shader stages in this file from 1 to 3, because you need 3 shader stages when you have 3 active ones, and you need to change that setting in the materials file, which I did forget to do at this moment. As you can see, that changes his colours quite dramatically here. You also need to make sure that, because the eyes are separate, you need to add the references of LM0 and LM1 in here as well, and again rename LM_0, okay, LM_1 as well. Here, there we go. Okay, so these settings are basically all the same, but we'll just leave the texture matrix for now, just so we can get this done, and clamp both of them, STQ again, ABC1, and that was normal, and true. Okay, and we'll do the same for LM1, so we can change these, not the best order, but, oh no, yep, there we go, normals. Okay, and we'll change those to clamp, and that needs to go to ENV cam. Okay, so now that should look better, and that's pretty much done. Oh, no. No. So what we almost forgot here, actually, I've just remembered, yeah, is that we haven't changed the active shader stages again. Silly. So what we'll do is we'll go down into the material, change that from 1 to 3. That would have been a big mistake. And there we go. So that now should look a lot better on his eyes instead of those big whites. Yeah, there we go. As we can see, his eyes have come back. So then you want to click File, Save, and this will save the model and everything you've just done over the file we had earlier. You can get rid of Brawlcrate now, and you're going to want to have inserted your SD card or USB that contains CTGP. Go and find your Psyduck DAE, oh no, your MKWii. Open your My Stuff folder in the CTGP and copy it across. So that's copied across, and I will see you guys on the Wii now as our model is ready to go. Right, hi guys, so here's our model. Not looking too bad, I must say. Shaders are looking like they've done their job. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, not too bad. I will be changing the card texture as well, but that's another video altogether. So yeah, I do like it. It's not too bad. I think his hands could definitely do some work. His ankles, I must say, have come out pretty well. And this is how you import a model into CTGP using Blender. I hope this tutorial has helped, and enjoy YouTube.